Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Aries, let's take a little peek at whatever our retrograde message may be. Okay, so keep in mind Mercury moves faster than Earth does, so it laps us. And when it comes round, it is one of those kind of opportunities for us to maybe look at things that are showing back up in front of our faces. But remember, we're older and wiser now because 3 to 4 months have passed. So, what is it that's showing back up? We have a Four of Swords and we have a Nine of Wands. Something could be hurtful is popping back up. Now, could be the Aries is either understanding somebody's hurt or pain better, or it could be an issue that comes back up again. And it's like, okay, here they are again, reacting, getting triggered. I mean, or this could be Aries getting triggered. Three of Swords. Hang on. Right now, I feel like it's, I said, maybe it's not a person yet. Maybe it's a memory of what already occurred. Only because we all have, the minor arcana, but now we just got court cards. So we have a Queen of Pentacles and we have the Empress. This could have to do with a fight that Aries had, or a fight that they watched play out between like a mother and daughter. This could also represent like in the workplace. It's like, oh man, here we go again. This is, for some reason, something is showing up and it's like, I am either understanding that a person doesn't realize where their triggers are and then they react and then it's hurtful. Because this says, I keep getting sad over and over again. I keep getting sad. But with that Empress there, hang on. And I really don't know who Aries is in all this. We have an Eight of Wands upright, Seven of Swords, and the Star. Is Aries playing peacekeeper somehow? And it's like, oh God, here we go again. The holidays are coming, family's going to get together, and guess what? We're going to go through the same old fight. This almost feels like Aries is like, oh, Lord, give me strength. We got the Eight of Wands. I'm going to need some good sleep because I'm not even going to pretend that I think I can fix things. It's just that I play the role of mediator between two people that perpetually have the same problems. Now, okay, let's say this is about Aries saying, I'm kind of tired of dealing with the same people that I date again and again, where they all come across as like wonderful, but then they have unhealed traumas and then they end up hurting my feelings. It could also be that. And of course, we could flip it the opposite way. And Aries could be doing a self-check and say, let me really evaluate, let me think about this before I speak. Am I about to make the same mistake with someone? Did I make a repetitious mistake with somebody? All I can see is that this is a repetitious thing. And there is good vibe here. These are good people. But how can we keep ending with the same painful triggers, unhealed wounds that lead to scarring each other again? I still don't know who Aries is. Aries is like reflecting, saying, I watch other people do this in my family. And it's nuts for me to think I'm going to be able to talk them through this because they have to heal their own personal wounds. And that's the truth, but it's very hard to tell somebody that truth. The reason this keeps happening is because you're the person who has to do some healing, and maybe so do they, and then everybody would move forward. Or this is Aries reflecting and saying, I realize I keep getting deeply disappointed. I meet somebody I think is going to be great, and then it turns out it's a heartbreak. But I'm realizing either it's because I keep picking people that are wounded and I want to heal them. If Aries is playing the role of Empress, this could be Aries saying, I keep finding great people, admittedly great people who have the capacity to give a lot, but they still seem to be very wounded, and they're still, even if I know they love me, their wounds come up and they sabotage relationships. And I keep either having this happen with someone, or I keep picking the same kind of person again and again. And I'm realizing maybe it's about time to have that really important conversation. I've been mulling on this in the subconscious mind for a while, and I'm realizing I keep picking great people or a wonderful person, but they have so much armor on because of the hurts they've been through. And even if they love me, and even if they want to be generous, there's still going to be this tendency to like if they get triggered at all, they go ape and start yelling and cussing me out like I'm the ex who hurt them once upon a time. And they haven't yet realized that is a scar that they have to heal. Now, if we're going to be super, super fair, and I feel like this is Aries being like as like really eyes wide open as they possibly can. They're not pointing fingers at other people. They're saying, and then maybe I too have a scar because I keep picking people that are wounded because I want to heal them. I want to protect them. Maybe this is me making everybody like my child. Maybe this is me wanting to heal everybody. Even I want to nurture and see somebody like totally feel good all the time. So it hurts me to see them in pain, but then they in turn hurt me. It almost feels like Aries is looking at the whole dynamic during this Mercury retrograde, and they're calling themselves out. They're calling the other person out. They're seeing I can't fix everything, but I can identify what things are mine to deal with. And right now, I think Aries is very, eyes wide open about what someone else would need to heal in themselves. Aries could be dealing with a Queen of Pentacles or a Queen of Pentacles type. So whether they're masculine or feminine doesn't matter. They could be very grounded, very loving, very generous, but also very like sometimes that switches over to like stick in the mud. I'm not going to let go of a wound that, well, look at this. She grew, the plants are part of her, but then they're also taking over her. This root mass has occluded one eye. It's in her nose. It's in her mouth. It's like a life experience isn't something that they had and that they can reflect on. It's that they still currently, half of them lives that life experience still every day. And they still cry over the experience that they already had, but they keep living it instead of growing beyond one life experience and into the next. So this is somebody whose roots are not creating a foundation, but rather bending back on itself and continuously like just making it a gnarled up knot. That's not going to work very good anymore. And I think this is Aries putting their finger on that and saying, I'd be lying to myself if I didn't acknowledge, I can see where our dynamics are coming from. And maybe I picked somebody and keep picking someone like this. They're great, but they live in experiences of pain that they've already endured, but they keep living it in their head or in their heart. And so they keep being defensive, even toward me who never caused their pain. That's what it looks like. This is very introspective. This is kind of an amazing one. Okay, so if Aries is doing this pretty deep like dive, Ace of Cups in the reverse and the Fool upright. There's our Aries. This is Aries. This retrograde is really powerful for Aries because this is them saying, I get it. It's a lack of self-love. And it could even be Aries is saying, and I'm not loving myself enough either if I keep trying to find other people that are broken so I can help them to heal. And then they in turn hurt me. That's my pattern to break away from. I'm transforming right now. I'm also looking at someone else and saying they're not loving themselves enough to let themselves move forward from what they've endured. We all deserve a new beginning, especially when we've gone through crap. We deserve to move forward from the crappy like hand of cards we were dealt. Let's move forward. I just think this is not Aries saying like, oh God, I'm so over somebody who has problems. That's not it at all. This is not Aries being someone who's like victim blaming or shaming or anything like that. This is Aries saying every person deserves, especially when you've been a victim, you deserve to move beyond what already occurred and have the absolute best possible outcome. You deserve to learn how to love yourself. You deserve to know that you're allowed to love yourself enough to be able to write a whole new story for yourself. And I think that's Aries being very supportive. We have the Lovers. We have the Seven of Wands. We can see Aries is, I think they're about to they're having massive breakthroughs with this retrograde. And maybe it's because it's like I'm remembering another recent fight, or maybe Aries is about to have another repetitious argument with someone. But this time they're looking at it different and they're saying, wait a minute, I'm going to do things different. I'm going to say things different. I might even look at that person and say, listen, you're super upset because you don't realize you always deserved better than what you got. and you get to have better now. What happened to you, not fair. Someone else treated you bad. You always deserve better, but now let yourself have better. Let yourself have me. I'm right here and I'm better. I treat you better. It just feels like Aries is like making this like moment of awareness, like this is the better way. Instead of trying to heal somebody, telling them you deserve to heal, putting it back into their court. They get to heal themselves. They deserve that. But it's not that Aries feels like I have to try to heal them. It almost feels like now Aries won't have to feel like they're getting attacked or something, or maybe accidentally sliding into like living that person's emotions and that person's pain. Aries is distancing themselves from this lover's life story of pain that they're still triggered by. And now Aries is like letting themselves say, I totally love you, but I also know I can't heal you, but you deserve to heal. And I hope you'll want to pick me because I'm the person who will treat you better and has always treated you better. It's basically Aries is advocating and pointing out the truth. Like, I'm not the person who hurt you, so don't go biting at me, you tiger. But instead of Aries saying, how dare you treat me like this, Aries is giving them like these like huge like permission to like speak the more raw truth here, and empowering them instead of like scolding. But here's the thing, this is a two-way street because Aries is also saying it for themselves. Aries isn't saying, if you keep treating me like this, like I'm the ex who hurt you, I will find another lover. I don't see Aries putting that out there, but that is the other half of this, because Aries says, I'm free to leave if someone cannot love me right. I have to quit choosing people that are wounded. I have to be free to let myself choose someone who can love me and not lash out at me for nothing, for no reason. That's my lesson in all this. So if I have to let them go, I will. I would prefer not to. But I don't see Aries like putting it out there like, if you treat me this way, I'm gone, because you need to heal yourself. You have triggers. Aries is like, wait a minute, I have a pattern too. I keep picking this, and I deserve to love me enough to know that if this doesn't get better, I too have a duty to myself to heal and to move forward. I don't see any like, oh, we have to break up, we can never talk again. I think this is the moment though of like this clarity during this retrograde cycle as something plays out again. A repetitious cycle is not going to keep repeating. We're either going to get to the point of like, oh wow, it makes sense. We're going to move toward actual love. They're not going to lash out at Aries. Aries isn't going to feel responsible for fixing them. We're going to break the patterns, or Aries is going to move on after this. But this is kind of like a really important retrograde because this comes back around, but this time with a new perspective. We have a King of Cups. We have a Knight of Cups. That King of Cups is absolutely like, honestly, I think this is a breakthrough. I think Aries and another person are going to break a toxic pattern that they've both been in. I think Aries hasn't been particularly like, maybe they've been having to walk on eggshells around a person that they really love, but this person has some wounds that keep popping up and stuff. And then Aries gets yelled at or hurt feelings. I think we're finally getting beyond that. It feels like someone Aries didn't want to give up on and be like, oh, they're just a monster. They can't heal. Aries seems to be so loving, so compassionate, but also so self-aware in this. And it looks like we have a massive shift. Maybe these are the words that this, Pentacle person needed to hear, is like, oh my God, this is Aries making this incredible gesture to me, opening up their heart to me, moving toward me, but also telling me something very real. Let me just ask, how is this going to impact them? We've got the Devil, we've got the Page of Wands, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. It's all sideways. This is new information for them to have to think about. I don't think it's this instant like light switch flipping where they're like, oh, aha. Okay, so I won't treat Aries like this anymore. I don't see that. I see it as they understand and they're assimilating Aries' words. Aries has low-key told me I've been pretty toxic. They've also pointed that out in the most gentle way ever. Aries is saying things that maybe deep down I've known, but I needed somebody else to say it to me to kind of let me know if I keep going this way, the path that I'm on, I'm going to stay toxic and I'm going to be kind of, abominable to be around. With this Page of Wands, Aries just encouraged me that I can change and I can do things in a different way if I have a spark. If I really don't want to keep feeling the way I feel, Aries is actually telling me that there's another way. They gave me the compass and said, you pick whichever direction you want to go. And God, I hope you'll pick coming my way for a spark of something more enjoyable. But Aries laid it out. I think this person is going to understand exactly what Aries has understood as well. They might have been thinking this for a while. Keep in mind that Mercury retrograde comes around for everybody, right? They might have been mulling over this, and maybe this is going to be the most cathartic, most beautiful, like argument slash, follow-up conversation to ever happen to two people who have needed to break free of the chains of painful things that they've endured and actually give themselves permission to live a happy life and especially a happy relationship together. Final message here, universe. We have a 10 of Cups. It's like Aries just said, why don't you dance with me instead of fight with me, especially since I'm not the person who hurt you. And I think this is them saying, let's dance instead. Yeah. The universe says at minimum, Aries definitely, a 10 is always a completion of a cycle. This is like finally we can start having a successful, happy relationship, or we understand maybe that that's what we're seeking, and that it doesn't mean everything is always perfect, but it does mean two people together have to move together to dance together. They can't both be doing totally different things, living totally different realities. So very nice message on this. Aries, this is probably one of my favorite Aries videos we've ever had. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.